Okay, so we're going to install an Interpure countertop and a B150 Keurig coffee machine. So you should already have your water source run with the shutoff on it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut some line. We're going to put the line right on here like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to splice and we're going to run a T. One is going to be for the Interpure machine. The other one is going to be for the coffee maker. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this like so. And we're going to do this like so. And then we're going to run a separate shutoff for each. So that in case something happens with the coffee maker, you can shut that off and still have the Interpure, or vice versa. Alright? So this is what our system is going to be like. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our Interpure model. Take this stuff off here. And we want to use these elbows, and what we're going to do is swing this around, and then on the back we have our water in port. This is where we're going to hook up the water in. So then what we'll do is we take another piece of line, and we're going to plug in our elbow. We're going to plug our elbow into here. We'll plug this right into here. Okay, and now we have the Interpure hooked up. We can turn this valve on as long as that one's off. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we need to flush the filters. So in order to flush the filters, we take off this ice maker coffee port line. Don't plug the machine in at this point. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use some line here that we're going to use for flushing. So all you do is just plug in a line. We got a sink right here, or you guys can use a bucket, whatever's easier for you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn the water on. And then water's going to run right out into the drain. Have it run for a couple minutes. This way it'll flush the carbon out of the filters. Then after a few minutes, when you have this done, then you can turn the water back off. And then what we want to do is you want to unplug this. Save your line because we're going to need this later. And then we're going to plug that back in. Then you can turn the water back on. Check for any leaks. Make sure all your fittings are in. And then we'll spin this one around. And then what we're going to do is we're going to plug this one in. Get an outlet right there. And then we got the outlet on the back here. There's two switches on the back. These have to be off for this process right now. We'll turn it on a little bit. Once you get it powered up, get yourself a cup. And then what you want to do is you want to hold the cold button so the tank fills up and you get water out of it. Then this way you know that the tank is full. Depending on water pressure, it could take a couple minutes. Okay, so now we got water coming out of it, so just what I would do is just fill up a cup like that. Have it stop, and then we can pitch this here. And then we're going to do the same thing to the hot. Hold both buttons until the hot tank fills and until you get water out of the dispense. Okay, so now we're getting water out of the hot side, so we know right now both tanks are full. So then what you want to do is turn on both switches on the back. And we can let this machine run like that for a little bit. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hook up the coffee maker. Okay, so now we're going to hook up the coffee maker. So what we need to do is we have a coffee maker filter here that we're going to put on this machine. We've got a zip tie here with an eyelet here. So what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew this screw right here on the back of the machine. We're going to put this one in here like so. Tighten it up. So we got a little hanger right there for the coffee filter. I'm going to take this part out here. I'm going to take this bottom part out here. Alright, and then what we have is we have two elbows. We're going to plug one in here, and we're going to plug one in here. Alright, now what we need to do is we're going to run a line. We're going to run a line from our one shutoff here to the top, because this is the way we have it, so the water flows from top to bottom. So we're going to plug that in there. Now what we need to do is we're going to use our same drain line, flushing line that we use for the Interpure. We're going to plug it in right there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on, and we're going to have water run through that so we can flush this filter too. And then we just let this run for a couple minutes. Okay, so we let this run a couple minutes, so what we're going to do is we're just going to turn the water back off again, like so. Okay, and then we have a garden hose connect with a elbow plugged into it. So this is what we're going to use for the back of the machine. So we just unscrew this, and we're going to screw this on the back here. Hand tighten only. Okay, and then all we have to do is just run a line from there to there. So what we'll do is we'll just cut this like so, and we'll plug this in right there, and then we're all set. Turn the water back on, check all your connections, and then what we do is we'll swing this one around here, and we're going to plug this in. There's a power switch over here, so we're going to turn the power on. It should start filling, and then after it fills, it's going to say heating, please wait. And then what we want to do is at that time you can take off all the stickers and everything. And then once it's heated, we're going to run a couple cups through it just to verify everything's working okay. What we can do then is in the meantime while this is filling, we go back to this unit here, push the hot, and you can obviously see that the hot is definitely hot, so we know that that's working. And then what you can do is run and feel the cold, and we know the cold's working. So this usually takes about a half an hour for cold to be cold and hot to be hot. So we know this thing's all working, there's no leaks or anything, so that thing's good to go. Now the only thing we're doing is we're just waiting on this unit to fill and heat up. Okay, so the brewer heated up. We have the option to brew right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a 12-ounce cup, flip open the lid, put it down, we're going to close it. We're going to select 12 ounces, and then we're going to hit brew. You don't need a K-cup in there for this. It's just going to flush water through it. We're just going to verify that the water does come out, it's roughly 12 ounces, and that it's hot. During any part of this, don't lift the handle up until it says enjoy your coffee. Otherwise it'll be a short cycle, and then what'll happen is when you do the next one you're only going to get part of it out, and then that's going to be it. So a customer might perceive that as a problem. So just let them know that they have to wait until the screen says that it's done brewing in order for them to lift it up. And we can see it's filling, and you can definitely see the steam, so we know it's hot. And we got ourselves a 12-ounce cup. It says Keurig brewed, enjoy. So now you're ready to go. Now you can flip this up. And then what I would do is just dump this and then just run a couple more just to verify, and then you're all good to go.